Real Country 1430 WRDN. Brian Winnekins at World Dairy Expo. And thank you to our Expo sponsors, including BASF, Ashley Gausman, your representative for Northwest Wisconsin. Also to Cal Basgrow Seeds, the Animal Wellness Center of Buffalo Valley, Professional Dairy Producers of Wisconsin, AMPI, and Annabis Silo of Durand. I'm with Mike North with the Commodity Risk Management Group. Boy, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff regarding the milk markets. A lot of things happening. And, Mike, good morning, and thank you for joining us. Well, first, when Expo started, it's amazing what the difference a year makes. Last year, when we chatted, it was like, oh, great, we have tariffs against China. What's this going to happen? And then this year, hey, great, we've got an agreement with Canada, especially for dairy. So is this a new agreement from what you've been able to see? Is this going to have a big effect on the milk markets or not?
I think it will, but we're going to have to wait for a lot of this to kick in, Brian. You're right. From a psychological perspective, last year at this time we were entering into the world of unknown, and it seems this year we're coming out of some of that. The deal first with Mexico and now with Canada sets us up to continue in a relationship with our two largest single-country destination trade partners, and we're excited about that. Obviously, Mexico tops that list of excitement. Canada, the deal is not as lucrative as the Mexican deal was for us on the dairy front, but we knew that going in. They've long had a protectionist establishment for their dairy industry. It was one of their biggest bargaining chips. They weren't going to let go of that quickly, and we knew that. We expected Class 7 to be a major discussion point and something they could give on, seeing that it was just recently introduced last April, and let's be fair, had a lot of real questionable tactics attached to it. So that was something they could give on and still probably come out feeling pretty decent about, although I'm told there is some strife among Canadian producers over a deal at all. That said, it's going to take us a while to enter into it. That Class 7 piece goes away only after the deal's been enacted for 6 months. It will likely take us 6 months to get the deal enacted. It's probably a year before that really goes away. Tariffs slowly come down. Our access slowly increases. And the way it's constructed, it takes until about year 5 or 6 for this to be fully in play. And so that gives them a little bit of time. The conspiracy theorist in me suspects that they might still have the wherewithal to create something new. Who's to say we don't have a discussion in years from now about Class 8 or some other new mechanism that they've used to construct more protection? They've done it in the past. I wouldn't be shocked by more in the future. But it is good for markets. There's no question about that. Is Canada going to completely solve our supply issue? Will they be the entire destination for all this excess we have? No. It's going to continue to be a conversation with lots of countries. Obviously, the deal with Korea, something we're happy about. This new discussion with Japan, something we're happy about. But it takes a lot of countries collectively for us to win on the export front.
Talking with Mike North with the Commodity Risk Management Group. Mike, also starting here this month, actually we'll start on October 9th, is the new dairy revenue insurance type program. What can you tell us about it, and what should producers be looking for in that program?
So we're excited to have this come out. As a company, we're offering this to producers as part of what we do. I'm excited about the fact that we have an insurance tool that comes close to what we've offered in the past. Not completely, but it is a similar type of offering. Number one, understand that the premium that's paid is partly subsidized by the government. So like other insurance products, the producer will pay a portion, the government pays a portion, and then the premium is satisfied at the company level. The DRP, for short, Dairy Revenue Protection, will also have the capacity to be priced every day. That, to me, is a big win for producers. Unlike other products where you had to look at it once a month or once a year, you now get to use this in tandem with what's going on in the market. You can price it every day. It comes with a multiplier. So you can, in this particular product, get coverage, but then amplify that coverage up to 1.5 times what it would be at face value. It adds cost to it in that same respect. So if you got the 1.5 multiplier, it will pay you 1.5, but you will pay premium that's about 1.5 greater than the 1-to-1 type of coverage that most people would be used to. The other thing is, and this is probably where you see the biggest benefit, you can price based on component value or class milk value. And this is my advice to producers as they're using this tool. As you explore that piece, make sure that your tour guide, the guy selling you this thing, is deeply and heavily knowledgeable of the dairy market. Because to fully take advantage of that piece, you need to know what's going on in the relationship of product and component to milk price on a daily basis. That will require some knowledge, and that's where we're excited to offer it because we feel we're in that spot to be able to do so well. But it is at its face value one of its biggest advantages, and also one of the things that could get misused or lost in the process. So that's our advice to producers on that. Its biggest disadvantage is going to be in the fact that it is on a quarterly average. You're buying coverage for a quarter. They're going to take all the price results for a quarter, average it out to determine if there's a claim. And so there's ways of managing that, and that's where some of the other products that we offer play very nicely with that. But it is a new, exciting tool. I'm excited that the government has brought forward something that really has some meaning behind it and some depth to it. It'll be a good offering. I'm excited that they're bringing this out.
Now, along with the new revenue insurance program, though, we're still going to have some other programs, margin protection program, and also the livestock indemnity program, too. So how will those fit into all of this?
So the livestock or livestock gross margin that you were referring to can still be used side by side with DRP, not in the same quarter, however. MPP can still operate in the background with DRP. All of this still is in they still all play well together, and it's the alphabet soup of dairy risk protection, right? You have CME, DRP, LGM, MPP. There's all of these. I'm
just waiting for XYZ.
Well, we got USMCA, right? The reality is that there is some things to sort through. There's upside and downside to all of it. I think among the government-offered products, this new dairy revenue probably is the shining star among them. But there's places and ways to use the other products as well. So we can't ignore that. And here again, this is why a knowledge of the marketplace is very, very important in your decision-making process.
With the alphabet soup of programs, and granted, they played it well together, but does a producer just have to start with their own operation first to try and figure out what might work or what combination thereof might work? Because to me, it sounds like this isn't going to be just, I'll get the dairy revenue program, I'm done. It's going to have to be that in combination with futures and options and the CME, along with maybe some MPP and the livestock gross margin program. I mean, it sounds like you're going to have to this is going to be a jigsaw puzzle.
To fully maximize those tools, it is. And that's why it requires some time spent thinking through, planning, preparing, on the front end, obviously learning and understanding how they come together, what they do, what they don't do. And it's gonna require a little bit of time, and I know this time of the year our time is often spent in the field. We're busy, maybe we're at World Dairy Expo, and there's certainly plenty to do here, but it requires some time, and that time is well spent. We do a wonderful job on our farms with the production side of our business, but it's still exactly that, a business. And we need to spend some time evaluating the revenue opportunities and risks and using these tools to entertain both sides of that.
That's Mike North. He's with the Commodity Risk Management Group from World Dairy Expo. I'm Brian Winnikins on Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN.